Howard came out and they had a pretty good spring game. This was a high scoring affair. The teams went back and forth. It ended in an interception, surprisingly. There were 65 plays. The team drew up 65 plays for them to run. The players executed as best they can. Now, one thing I will say is this. I think if Howard wants to take the next step in the MEAC, they were MEAC champions, co-champions last year. They ended the season 5-6. I think if we're trying to get above 500 this year, Howard needs to make a change at quarterback. I think it's time. I think Quentin Williams, we've seen his ceiling, and I don't think Quentin Williams can take Howard to the Celebration Bowl. I think your guy is Scroggins, his backup. After watching the spring game, I'm pretty set on understanding that Scroggins can make all the throws that Quentin Williams can make. Gets a little pass happy at times, gets real trigger happy. He might let it go one too many times like he did in the spring game, throw an interception, but that comes with experience. You only gain experience by being out there on that field. He hasn't had much of that experience while on his Howard team. Only played sparingly last year. Now, if you talk about somebody needs to get the ball to, we're talking about Kasey Hawthorne. Kasey Hawthorne is your guy if you're Howard. He is the wide receiver one. He can get yak. He's undersized. First of all, he's an undersized guy. He's not like Antoine Murray. Antoine Murray was your X. This guy is more like your A-back or your Y. He may be able to play the Z, honestly. And he's going to be your go-to guy. He has great hands, great feet. A lot of times during the spring game, whenever he caught the ball, he's gaining at least 10 to 11 yards. He's going to be the guy you go to when you need a first down. He's a guy you can rely on at receiver. And he's also a game changer. He's a game changer. Whenever he gets the ball in his hands, you have to be careful around him. He's your wide receiver one. Great yak, runs through contact, and also runs a lot of routes out of the backfield. That's a guy you want. You could put him anywhere. Then going from Scroggins, let's talk about a little bit there. DB core, the Howard defensive back core looks pretty good. Through and through, this is a pretty good defensive back core. Kenny Gallup returns as safety at Howard, and he's a menace. He's a straight menace out there in the outfield. He comes down, he will lay the hammer, and he also has pretty good hands. He attacks the ball in the air. Kenny Gallup gave a lot of problems, and Ray Williams also at corner presented a lot of problems for these Howard wide receivers. I like what he did in the spring game. He played very good in man coverage, had a PBU. He plays the ball very well, and he's so quick to the ball. He closes space a lot of times, so guys don't even look like they're open. So Howard has a lot to look forward to going into this fall. I do think the quarterback situation, in my opinion, is the big game changer for them. But on offense, they return all three running backs. You return the three-headed beast. You return Ian Wheeler, your running back who also returns on kick returns, can take back 99-yard kick returns. You bring back Eden James as a sophomore, your speedy guy that you can move around, and really you can use him. You can use him as your gadget guy. Put him wherever you want to put him. He can even catch the ball. He caught a 40-yard bomb to start the spring game, by the way. He can even catch the ball, and he gets busy. And then lastly, you have your all-around back, your Jared Hunter. I think Jared Hunter will end up being the running back one. He'll take most of the carries because of what he can do in between the tackles. And you use Eden James in your and long situations to really move the sticks and allow him to get into space with guys. He did a very good job in space, creating separation from guys at running back. And he runs so violently. He'll go through you, and sometimes he loosens you up with moves to attack you. So I really like Eden James and what he's been doing. Quentin Williams, I didn't speak about him too much during this game, but he has a pretty decent underneath passing game. But in small windows, he's pretty inaccurate. And that's going to be a big question mark going into the season when it comes to winning these big games and commanding these game-ending drives. You're going to have to be able to really get the ball into tight windows consistently. So that's all I got on Howard this week. We'll jump